So a couple of years ago, when Marvel announced that they were going to do a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, the internet was ablaze with just, this is going to be it. This is going to be the first Marvel Studios bomb. This is going to be terrible. Why Guardians of the Galaxy? There's all these other wealth of characters to do ahead of time. You're going to take it in space. It's going to be goofy. Who are you going to get to direct, etc., etc. And everybody was wrong. Guardians of the Galaxy is probably my favorite Marvel movie, hands down. More so than Avengers, more so than the original Iron Man, both Caps, whatever, you name it. This might be the best Marvel Studios movie to date. And I didn't watch it the weekend it came out. I actually waited a couple weekends after Turtles had come out too. But I checked it out, full theater. Checked it out in IMAX 3D. Brand new projector, so the 3D looked badass. James Gunn nailed it. Guardians of the Galaxy was an amazing movie. I've only been with the comic books for so long. I know the main complaint about the movie people had was the really rushed and altered origin story at the beginning for Peter Quill. And by the time, nerds, come on, roll with it. By the time you walked out of the theater, how crazy was to go walk into a movie theater and see a packed theater full of people looking at Groot on the screen? That's insane. So we gotta take it with a grain of salt. They end up in the same place. I mean, in the amount of time they use, there's no reason they could have told a sped up, real quick Peter Quill origin story. Much like the first few pages of the Guardians of the Galaxy relaunch, the current volume we're in that Bendis is writing on, I think it was the first issue, or it was like a 0 issue or something. Just had the quick origin story, and then you're right into it. Nothing would have been lost. So it's not even a nitpick. I can't think a scene in this movie where you're just like, okay, let's go here. Avengers had a lot of that. I felt that the characters, the actors, really melded well in this. The casting was right on. Like, Gamora was a little off, but giving her more of an emotional base, worked for them. Again, everything that was changed worked for this movie, which is more than I can say for movies like Ant-Man coming up, which is now the spotlight's on that to be the first real Marvel Studios bomb, if you're not counting like Iron Man 2. Which is not a bomb by any stretch of the imagination as far as money is concerned, but from a content point of view. So I really like Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought it was fantastic. I won't go into too many spoilers or anything like that about the movie, but yeah, easily my favorite Marvel movie. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. In my lifetime, this is the best Star Wars movie I've seen, is the way I put it. And yeah, just the way it's tying into the rest of the universe, Thanos' appearance in it. We get to see Josh Brolin as Thanos. They're not putting a voice on him or anything. They're just letting the performance stand. Everybody in this was amazing. The special effects were fantastic. Rocket Raccoon and Groot are now household names, which is just insane. It's insane that movie worked. The Nova Corps in the movie, a little bit depowered. They kind of not bumbling. That's not the word I was looking for. But they didn't seem. I guess they've really never been up against something of that nature. But we don't really know as a movie going public. They don't really establish them well as what they are, which is technically like the Green Lantern Corps of the Marvel Universe. Like, they're protecting the galaxy, and they don't seem really capable of doing that, considering apparently how many alien races there are that are just hostile or want to take over things. But the spacescapes in this, all the different planets and stuff, everything about this movie is fantastic. Soundtrack, bang on. Check out Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that's all I have to say with that. But the poll list this week for August 13th, brought to you by Longbox Radio. I have to blaze through really quickly because I spent all my time I have to run out the door, so I'm already wasting time. Batman number 34 from Scott Snyder. We have a shadowy figure standing in a graveyard. We're going to find out what's going on. I can't remember what happened in the last Batman issue. Batman Eternal. Batgirl and Red Hood having a lot of disagreements of how they're going about their business on their team with Batwoman's there too, so I don't know if she's not breaking up, but apparently they're going to have some kind of confrontation. And I have the Joker's daughter's hanging out, so that's kind of cool. Been a cool book. The last issue we had some Killer Croc show up. I always like a good Killer Croc issue. Walking Dead number 130. I've been digging Walking Dead since after All Out War. Usually, after any big moment or event in the Walking Dead universe, there's this insane falling action that is one of the most boring things that makes you want to finally drop the book, and then it pulls you back in. This is not the case. Since All Out War has been done, I like the character interactions. I feel like it's going someplace. There's some form of plot happening in each issue, which hasn't always been the case in this book, so check it out, Walking Dead. Going over to Marvel, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 5, which has Electro and Black Cat teaming up to take down Spidey. There you go. Not much else to say about that. The last issue, of course, had Spider-Man's steamy makeout with Silk, who is in the background there. She's actually just watching it kind of happen, so that's cool. Avengers Undercover. There it is. 3 months later, we're going to see where all the characters are at, whether or not their plot to overthrow the evils from the inside is going to work. Lots of cool stuff happening in this book. If you like Marvel side characters to be lifted up, And this is like the what was it, EWO, whatever it is, ECW, the lower level like wrestling, where they're bringing up little characters and eventually going to work them into the main books. That's more or less what this is, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really cool from Dennis Hopeless. Original Sin, number 7 of 8, The Last Battleground. There we go. Jason Aaron, doing what Jason Aaron does. Really digging the book. As far as like an event go, I don't like the ones where it's just a bunch of people in superhero costumes standing around talking to one another, which is really what Original Sin is. It's all these revelations and cool things that are harkening back to things that have happened in comics over the last, so much time. But at the end of the day, it's Mike Deodato drawing a bunch of pretty superheroes that are standing around talking it out. So there you go. We'll see what happens. And finally, Spider-Man 2099. This is the second issue, which also has a free digital code. So free digital codes include all of my Marvel's book. No, Avengers Undercover does not have a free digital code. Sorry about that. But Amazing Spider-Man, Original Sin, and Spider-Man 2099 will have codes at the end of this. Jeremy S. has provided me with another big list of codes to give away. So I'll either do that next week for the pull list, or I'll give it away on the weekend. As always, follow at Longbox Radio on Twitter, because sometimes I like to post stuff there as well. But that's the pull list for this week. Go see Guardians of the Galaxy. That's all I gotta say. Happy reading.